Today's lesson or just need a little extra help with slope, which was what we were talking about today in class. So positive slope as we look from left to right is increasing. Think about like going uphill, and then downhill, or when I go left to right, it's going down or decreasing, is a negative slope. If it's just a flat line, think about walking on the floor. There's no slope because it's nice and flat, but you can't walk on this line, so that is when slope is undefined. So a couple big ideas we talked about in the beginning, really quick just to show you like a positive slope. Again, that's going to increase as we go left to right. So an example would be this line. Negative slope would be decreasing left to right. For example, this one. So this one's decreasing, increasing, increasing. So you can see those there. So our notes for today were just how to find the slope of a line. So we want to use the slope triangle or the slope formula. You have two methods. Honestly, I think the slope triangle is the easiest because all you need to do is just draw a triangle between the 2 points. How far up do you got to go in the y direction? And then how far over? I'm going to do these in two colors. So it's 1 in the y direction. And then in the x direction, left and right, 1, 2, 3. So the slope, this is the only tricky part, is we want to make sure it's rise over run. So it's 1 over 3. The y's go on top, and then the run, or the left and right, goes on the bottom. The other thing you should always check is just positive or negative. We just did that. So as we go left to right, that's increasing, so it is a positive slope. You could also use the slope formula, which is y2 minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1. And just to show you how this would look, I'm going to use the same graph and the same 2 points. When we do y2, 3 minus y1, notice that 3 minus 2 is just 1. And that was how far up we went for the slope triangle. So that y2 minus y1 is just the top of the slope triangle, or the up and down. Then for the x's, we got x2 is 3 right here, and x1 is 0. So 3 minus 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. Now when we went right and left, it was 1, 2, 3. So that's why that number is 3. So we get the same thing. The slope formula is helpful if you have 2 points. But if you have the graph, honestly, it's easiest to make the slope triangle and quickest. So I tend to use that the most. So just a quick teacher example. Just went through this one. But if I was going to determine the slope of this line, really quick, just say you went right 3, up 1. Same thing. Just double check, make sure you got slope is rise over run. So my m equals the rise. How far up did I go? I went up 1. I went over 3. So my slope is 1/3. Boom. And then looking at the slope formula, right, we could use those 2 points and plug them in. I just did that, so we really don't need to. But now you should be ready for the cool down. You have 2 options using the slope triangle or that y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Notice they both have the y on top and the x on bottom.